guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. Preamp works. Well, Mr. E, my wife said this is next, so I grabbed it and I went to doing my thing on it. Now your note that you sent with it, thank you very much, by the way. It was very detailed and it told me specifically what I needed to do. Talk to you via text about tuning up this M4v. I bought it new and has been sitting for 20 years. If you recommend any upgrades, let me know. And he uses it on the funny band. So, Earl, Mr. E, the thing that I preach on and on and on and on and on and on and on about is getting rid of this stuff. This here. These are the stock power wires. They just don't hold up. And these little eyelets, a little tiny eyelet, doesn't do the job at all. So what we did is we went in and we replaced your power wire. We bypassed the fuse internally, which if you're going to put a fuse in, you're going to put it in at the battery. Okay? And then we upgraded the power wire that comes from here to the driver section. There's a trace that's in here that goes doop. And I found just by putting this wire from here to here has this thing pull 10 less amps. Less. Less. Believe it or not. So other than all of the air variables in this thing had jiggled loose over the years, I couldn't find anything else wrong with it. So I just went ahead and I retuned all the variables, and I put some paint on them to lock them down so they won't jiggle loose on you again in the future. Now this is a 4 watt or a 10 watt amplifier. Doesn't want you to put anything more into it than that. And what they're talking about is 4 average watts or 10 average watts. That's it. So without getting too radical, because this has got original Motorola 455s in it, I do believe, or 1446s, basically the same part. One's got a little bit less gain, the other one's got a little bit more. One takes a little bit more drive, one takes a little bit less. It's about a 60 watt part. Average power part. So with the power wire upgrade, makes the amp run a little bit cooler. Now, there's a whole bunch of other crazier stuff we could have done. We could have added another board down the side, but really this is adequate for what it is. This is going to be about a 700 and 800 watt amplifier. It's really all it's going to be. So as soon as we get it all tuned in properly, I'm going to use 1000 watt slug and peak, 1000 watt slug and average, 5 watt slug and reverse. We're going to use the 2950, making a whole whopping 20 something watts. So check this out. I'm going to show you drive. 20 whole watts. Not that much average. There's our principal. Now, I've just recently had something change. I've got a little bit of 60 cycle something or other going on here. So I got to go track that down. I'll figure that out later, not today. Let's look at our pass-through tune. Otherwise, your SWR going through the amplifier. Nice and low. Okay. Turn the amp on. Got it in high. And we've got it up in the 4 watt position. Because remember on the back here, there's this little switch that's 4 or 10. So we're going to put it in a 4 watt position. So basically it's passing straight into the amplifier. Now these things are notoriously horrible for having bad input. Notorious for having a bad input SWR. The RF comes in through the connector, goes through the relay, comes down, hits this little piece of mini coax, comes up front, goes through this input selector. Now, I got to tell you, Mr. E, this is the second one that's ever been here where this hasn't been burned completely to the ground. So it tells me that you've taken good care of this amplifier over its lifetime. Very impressive to me, sir. We're going to leave it on high. So the lowest amount of resistance, then the RF comes back out, goes around, goes through this attenuation, this attenuator, then drops off into the input, and this is where they've decided to add capacitances, post-attenuator. Hello. 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 That's with a 20 watt radio hitting it. We're getting 750 watts. 250 bird. Alright. So now we're going to put it into the high drive position. 700 peak. It's about the same amount of bird. Nice low input SWR. Same thing on the output. So now, establish the baseline. Oh, yeah, hey, I want to look at this too real quick. About 100 amps. 100 amps worth of draw. So, now, like I said, now that we've established our baseline, let's hook up the Frankenstein radio, the derail radio. The thing that makes it do mega bird. There's a lot going on with these radios right now. I was on the radio with derail the other day, and he's got a 955 that he can dial the bird watts up and down. Because everybody's, oh, bird watts, bird watts, bird watts. And he's like, here, watch. Dials the bird watts all the way down, and my signal meter didn't change at all on my side of the street. It's like, whoa, okay. Peak envelope power, man. Alright, so let's start over. Let's revalidate our test. We're going to put this back up in 4. We're going to shut the amplifier off. Now, I had to set up for another test. Roughly the same number of watts. Let's go ahead and we'll turn on the messenger. So 700 watts again. Now 400 bird. Perfectly clean. So the moral of the story is, this doesn't need to have a lot done to it without getting radically crazy. We could go in and strip out all 8 of these transistors, and we could put, 2879s in there, and we could modify it so it's got 2 giant power leads coming in and out of the back, and all that's going to happen is going to get hotter than a New York firecracker, because it's got, this was, I believe, a stock mounting bracket that's on it. And I don't remember or not if you told me if it had a fan or not. It was moving air across it. But this is a small little heat sink, and every single one of these I've gone in and changed all the output transformer windings and changed the combiner windings and put 2 drive-in into this, into that, into this, into that. They run, but they're not very stable. Where this is a very, very stable design. So Mr. E, no fuss, no muss, just done. Everything's tested, everything's working the way it should. Power wire upgrade done. No big melodrama to it. 750 watts with 20 watts going in. You put a 30-40 watt radio into this thing. Make sure it's down there on that 10 watt setting. And you'll be fine. It'll do about 800 watts. So on that note, I'm out of here. M4v by Messenger. Just ran my fingers across it. Made sure everything was good. Mr. E, thank you for sending this thing up. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to go through it. Gentlemen, my name is BBI. Without a shadow of a doubt, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Come check us out, www.bbiamps.com. Come find me on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. And if this is your first time watching this Dog and Pony Show, just give me a like and click subscribe. It makes both of us feel better. No Patreon, no ads, no commercials. I don't know about you, I sit there and I watch YouTube anymore, and it's like commercial, commercial, commercial. Then the show actually begins that I want to watch, and then it's commercial because the person's got sponsorship from so-and-so. Appreciate you guys. Bump bump from the biggest duck in Idaho. I'll see you. Bye.